In the module 60, we will discuss the major, very important topic theme, that is developing teachers. A review of early professional learning. The teachers have, we can categorize teachers in the different levels of professional competencies or in the professionalization. One is early professional learning, and after early professional learning, teacher becomes an expert teacher in the field. So we will discuss the early professional learning. And professional learning as an integral part of the school or the educational process or an educational agency, and the strategies for providing educators with the knowledge and skills necessary to enable students to succeed in well-rounded education and to meet the challenging status of educational standards. It is clear that every professional development, we can say it as EPL. For many years, the underdevelopment part of the career-long teacher learning needs to move center stage, means from early stage to the expert stage. The focus on the early professional development must be prioritized if teachers are to move swiftly towards expertise. In the UK, there's an association that's called Association for Science Education that has given the framework. And the framework has 7 areas of the professional development. That is the metrics. That includes number 1, subject knowledge and understanding. And the second is pedagogical content knowledge. And the third one is development of teaching and assessment skills. And the fourth is understanding teaching and learning. This framework indicates that the teacher should have this list of the competencies. The wider curriculum and other changes affecting teaching. And the sixth one is management skills, and that requires how to manage the people or managing the people. And the seventh or the last is management skills, managing yourself and your professional development. And this is the metrics, and this metrics also recognize the classroom as the site for the learning and the colleagues as the player, and in supporting professional growth. This is very important aspect, where what is the role of the teachers, what is the role of the learners, what is the role of the colleagues in that metrics. And the strategies for early professional learning are the different. For example, number 1, identify personal needs and setting priorities for professional development. Number 2, working with an experienced colleagues or the colleague. The teacher identifies and plans to carry out a number of the small-scale classroom-based activities. And each activity is specially planned to address the different elements of the matrix. And the third one is the teacher supported by an experienced colleague or the mentor that considers the evidence from carrying out the activities and analyzes the teaching and learning taking place in her own classroom. There are different models of the early professional learning. Number 1, cascade model or the generational model, in which there are the different levels of the teachers or the expert teachers or the senior teachers are considered into the model. Number 1, those who are most seniors, that are considered as the trainers of the trainers. Those people are the selected people. They train the group of the people that are considered as the master trainers. And the master trainers is again the group of the people and greater in numbers of the TOTs or the trainer of the tutors, and that are trained by the TOTs, and that become the master trainers. And the master trainers train the trainers, and the group of the trainers again go and train the teachers at the wider scales where there is the requirement. So this is called the cascade model. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. And that's the mentor model. The senior teachers with the different strategies and the different techniques like observations and the questions and suggestions, mentors, guides, and advises the junior teacher. This is another model of the early professional learning. And the third one is a reflective model. This is to be done or carried out by the teacher himself. The teachers show commitment to serve the interest of the student by reflecting on their own well-being, how competent and how well I am teaching to my students. So this is the teacher to be done by himself. When the teacher become reflective practitioners, they move beyond the knowledge base of discrete knowledge to a stage where they integrate and modify skills to fit a specific context. This is the benefit of or the significance of this model. And eventually move to a stage where skills are internalized, means they become the part and parcel of one's attitudes, one's personality, and enabling them to invent new strategies. They therefore develop a necessary sense of itself, of the self-sufficiency to create personal solutions to the problems. And then there is the fourth model, that is whole school improvement or the school-based model. School arrange the training of the teachers on the base that's based on this approach or the model, and that includes staff development, school infrastructure, emphasis on high expectations. Whatever the expectation of the school has, that the school shares with the teachers and arrange the trainings for the teachers. Careful attentions to consistency of the teaching and discussion of the pedagogy. And in this model is as a school-based management paradigm, and it's under the school improvement, and for the sake of the school improvement and the school effectiveness discourse, and it is driven by the eclectic approach to this process, and the output and the outcomes considered as the primary focus, to which the output serve as the critical but secondary focus. And the fifth one is cluster-based professional development model. There are the clusters of, for example, science teachers, English teachers, mathematics teachers, Islamic study teachers. The cluster is formed by the school organizations, the district management, the district education officers, or the tehsil officers, etc. And that is being provided the training for the professionalization. And on the basis of this discussion, we can conclude that as yet there is no coherent framework that seamlessly supports a teacher through career-long professional development, from novice to expert teachers, from classroom teachers to the subject leader to schools. If more teachers are to become outstanding teachers, then we need to ensure that every teacher can take advantage of structured professional development from the earliest stage in their career.